Keep your notes, kids.
Don't go to jail.
And then, do you have a mask I can wear? That would be cool.
Yeah, fucking dude, this is fucking blasphemy. Put goddamn fucking Slipknot shit on if you want. Beat it like a fucking step chop. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Nothing to see here presents the Blasphemer. What might one day grow up to be a fucking podcast?
I'm
Who
watching
are
this.
you?
Hold on.
My name's Tiger.
Terrence. Tommy. Teddy.
He's trying to call me fuck.
Hard boy.
Hard boy.
Hard boy Savage Travis.
I'm just gonna stick with Travis.
I like that.
You know, good.
Other than it's your action.
Still eat pizza, too.
Well, I want to see you eat pizza, and I think they do too. We care here.
These cocksuckers, are captive audience, so yell at them.
I guess it's more gonna be. We were talking about doing erotica industry,
Sex industry.
so I guess we're gonna be more of a sex worker.
In Colombia, it's like the auto industry. It's completely legal.
Yeah, so like in Amsterdam. Some
Anyway.
parts of the United States it's legal, but very, very few.
And
Drugs are more legal in the United States than sex workers.
that's what I'm saying, man. But you know what? I don't even really want to talk about the legalities because that's not interesting to me.
No.
So let's just dive right in. It's erotica, but it's sex work. So how many? I guess everybody kind of assumes, right, that there's prostitutes, and you pay them. And where I come from, you have crack whores, and that's about it.
What's the difference? There's different. There's a sex worker, but what's your category? I mean, what would you categorize yourself?
I consider myself strictly GFE, girlfriend experience, high-end escort.
Girlfriend experience. What's that?
Now that is for the clientele that are looking for a more attentive, more intimate experience.
So they might take you out to dinner, they might buy
exactly.
you a gift, they might want to know when your birthday is. What's the difference between having a girlfriend or like a not very serious relationship and that? Because you end up spending
money.
Yeah, but you spend money on girlfriends anyway.
I know, so there really isn't much of a difference, really.
No,
I mean, the client has the benefit of being able to have control over the entire exchange. When he sees me, when he doesn't see me, how often he sees me.
Where does manipulation come into that as far as reeling them in? If you want, there's certain clients you might want to see more initially.
Oh, yes. If you find a good client and that's somebody that you enjoy spending time with, they enjoy your company, you build a connection, they're discreet and trustworthy, then you want to make yourself as appealing as possible to that person. Make sure that they get attached to you. Not really manipulation, you just show your best qualities, be your best self, and just making every experience the best experience possible when you're together. That way it's something they remember, and it's something when they're at work, they're wishing they were there with you. You want to be their fantasy. You want to be the thing that they think about when everything sucks. So when things are bad, they come running to you.
This is a skill.
It is.
I mean, this is a skill set.
You ever had a client get hooked? Almost.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've never seen one client one time. I've been seeing some clients since I started, 4 years ago? I believe it's been about 4 years. I'd say I'm very lucky. I've never had a bad experience. But a lot of that has to do with how thorough you are at screening your clients and making sure that you're finding quality clients. Guys that are interesting, that are, well-spoken, that are intelligent, that can carry a conversation. Most of them are actually very attractive and very successful, especially if you get into high-end escorting. You're dealing with a lot of money, so you're not seeing, just anybody. You're seeing somebody that is relatively successful, and what comes along with that is someone that's generally very educated. So you have great conversations, you know, and that all adds to a really overall great experience aside from, you know, the bedroom. Then once you get into the bedroom, that's a whole nother ballpark.
Been doing this for like over 4 years.
I did it for about a year and a half, and I took a break for a year and a half, and then I just started doing it again. 4 years ago when I first started, you know, when they found out that I started working again, were immediately, you know, excited and happy to hear that I was returning back to the industry. It was within a day, it was all over, you know, USA Sex Guy, Elena's back, and, you know, I didn't even have to do much work as far as promoting myself because I had done so well at creating a really good following.
What's the end game though? Is this going to be your career to your...
No, certainly not. I mean, to me, the most precious commodity is not money, it's the time that you're allowed with the money. So I'm going to save as much money as I can so I can use that to take the time I want to do whatever the hell I want. If that's travel, towards a house, it's all about the future. That's the end game, is my future. It's not about, you know, quick thrills and easy money in my pocket.
May I?
Yeah.
But in my industry, you know, tattooing, which at times it's been illegal, you know, an apple and an orange. But there's times when I've been just unable to do it unless I'm like self-medicated. So I guess like what my question is, it's not like a really personal question, but just in general. And also it's kind of like two, but there's going to be people watching this, I assume, that are attractive young women, you know, maybe 19. And I mean, the more you talk about it,
You're glamifying it, which is fine if it's glamorous, but
I don't know.
There's two sides to it. I
There's
mean,
gotta be a dark side.
you know the reality of what you're doing, and that is that you are meeting strangers, and you are, you know, you're having an intimate exchange with them. You can do your best to make it as meaningful and and enjoy it as much as possible. But at the end of the day, if you're not emotionally capable of sharing yourself, you know, at that level, then it's not for you. You have to be able to put on a persona, realize that your worth is not in you know, who you share yourself with. I used to believe that. I used to believe that being monogamous and staying with one person meant that I had more value. That's not true. I still have as much value as I do now as I ever did. You know, whether I'm with one person or two people, or like you know, seeing several clients.
I agree.
But to any girls out there that are interested in doing it, they really need to know what they're doing before going forward with it, because it is dangerous, very dangerous. From law enforcement side, dangerous because you're dealing with people you don't know, and you know, you have to do everything you can to protect yourself from both things, that, and you have to protect yourself from yourself.
Yeah, self-medication.
Self-medication. It's super easy. You have all this income, you know, and what do rock stars do? They start abusing drugs. Quick money can lead to a lot of dangerous things. Now, any attractive girl can become an escort, but can she become a great escort? One that, you know, puts clients in their pockets left and right? No. The difference between, I think, that girl and, let's say, the girl that only has to see a few clients because she has built up this, you know, trust, and with just a few amount of clients, you see them regularly, you don't have to open yourself up to strangers, up to danger, you know? It's like having sugar daddies.
Let's switch gears real quick, but I want to come back to it.
Yeah.
So right now on here, these miscreants that'll be watching this on Instagram and whatnot, like there's fans only, okay? Like, I'm not interested in your services because you're shitty at your job. Like the girlfriend experience, I could see myself.
There is so much more work. Take a picture of your tits and let people pay and give you gifts, and it's not for me, because I like things to be as meaningful as they can be. And that's the difference between going back to, you know, being an escort and being a GFE, girlfriend experience. girlfriend experience is you're looking for that connection, that meaning, that,
Yeah.
whereas just a regular escort will be cordial, polite, and she can be a good conversationalist and this and that, but she's not going to be as attentive. She's not going to be like a girlfriend.
I might look for another one
Yeah.
instead of always wanting
Yeah.
my.
You get a good girlfriend experience escort, and you will never need to see another escort again.
It's just like, for someone who's watching this, like women or whatever that do fans only, like, to me, I feel like because I've tattooed, and when I had the volume, like unmanageable volume, I couldn't give anyone quality service.
That's true.
And so they won't even speak to me. They won't even treat me like a human unless I pay them first. I'm not going to pay you unless you treat me like a human first, unless we can have a conversation. And so essentially I'm paying you to treat me like a human. So I just feel like maybe the volume is not the way to go.
Volume is definitely not the way to go, and as far as with what I'm doing, for sure. And plus you have to think about your well-being. Is it good for you to see so many people on a regular basis? I take a lot of time off, which is really healthy, to just do the things that are important to me, take care of myself, and then when I'm ready, I work 1 or 2 days a week, and then I might take a week off. You don't need to work every day, because you're going to start feeling empty, you're going to start feeling used up.
Burnt out.
Yeah, and there's just no reason to do that. Just balance everything like you would like. And I make it more accommodating to them to where they can afford to see me on a regular basis. And before you know it, he's a sugar daddy. We're seeing each other once or twice a week. Those days are dedicated to him only, and he is taking care of my rent, or we have an allowance set up. Ideally, what you want to do as an escort is to have as few clients as possible that are really dedicated to you, and just have it set up to where your bills are paid, and you have an allowance, and you can put away money, and you still have a lot of time to yourself.
Well, she keeps saying the GFE, the girlfriend experience. Are you anyone's girlfriend?
No, I don't need more than that. But it's been wonderful, this experience that I've gotten being an escort, because it taught me so much about myself, my sexual self.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot about sex in general, about, what's healthy, the healthy parts of sex, the unhealthy parts of sex, what's, the weight of sex towards male and females, and different things like that. Those are lessons that I don't think are obtainable outside of this profession.
Have you ever had to hit time out, you're out of bounds with someone?
Okay, I have, like I said, I've been very lucky, no bad experiences. And that's just because I put a lot of effort into making sure the client fits what I'm looking for. But I do have a weird textural issue with my hands, tactophilia. And if I touch the wrong texture, like if his hands are too rough on my skin, it'll trigger that sensitivity issue. And I had one client, we had a 2-hour session. We were only 30 minutes in, and I'm grinding my teeth trying to ignore the fact that my whole body is screaming, no, this feels wrong, this feels wrong, this feels wrong. The texture's wrong, the texture's wrong. So I end up having to give him a good portion of his money back and tell him, I'm sorry, we can't continue this session. I hope to see you again.
Did you, though? Is that true?
That is all true, except I knew that I was not going to be able to see him again.
Okay.
And he did try to get up with me several times afterwards, and I ended up just telling him the truth.
Okay. That was for your well-being at the time. You didn't want to upset him.
I didn't want to upset him, the two of us together. It's hard, and it's a weird thing for someone to understand, oh, my hands are too rough for you? People don't understand, what goes along with tactophilia, how, sensitive, and how the triggers and how uncomfortable it makes you.
Not to interrupt, but why isn't stop enough? I mean, shouldn't it be like, What if you
You
just
don't want to make them feel disrespected in any way or make them feel like they did anything wrong, because in that situation, they certainly didn't do anything wrong. Now, if they had done something wrong, something disrespectful, something just out of bounds that, we had already gone through what was acceptable and what was not acceptable, and they chose to do whatever they wanted to do anyway, oh, I stand by, yes, no, immediately no, and then you're getting the hell out, and I'm keeping all of the money, because we've agreed, I've given you my time. That time, just because you've wasted it by disrespecting me, doesn't magically go away, but you now have to. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a dangerous profession no matter what. Because, like, you're a woman with grown men. Has anyone not left?
No.
You've gotten lucky.
That's your screening.
And it's screening. It's all screening.
Yeah, but it's 2021. Catfish is popular show for a reason.
I hear you there.
There's danger. Don't ever forget that there's danger. Yes, there's danger. But the more effort you put into screening your clients, and that goes as far as the first words that come out of their mouth to you, should always be respectful and courteous and treat you like a person. If for any second they make a comment that makes you sound or make you feel less than a person, or is slightly disrespectful or even cold, that should be a warning sign and should tell you this is not going to be an ideal experience for me. I'm going to pass. And being that way for the past few years has done me a service in matching me with clients that are looking for the same thing that I am. They're looking for a meaningful, fun experience.
Yeah, out there.
Have you ever gotten over on, or have somebody gotten over on you?
Yes, I have. A girl that just started, I had somebody that I was working with.
What do you mean working with?
Male or female?
Male, and he worked for...
Was it a pimp?
No, not a pimp. He did my screening for me, so he spoke to all the clients for me, arranged all of my dates for me, and also worked at the hotels that I stayed at a great discount. I had put myself on a site, they had saw me on the site, and they had offered their services to me and said, just come out to lunch and talk to me, just lunch, just hear what I have to say. If it's not what you're into, that's fine, but very respectful, nice younger gentleman, a golfer. Because I wasn't doing anything as far as, checking any of the messages. My phone number wasn't even connected to any of this. He was doing all the messaging back and forth, making all the appointments, and I gave him a portion, a very, very, very nice generous portion of what I made, and I just started noticing.
I think he's suspect. I don't like him.
That's a pimp.
I started noticing after a while. No, his job was not to protect me.
He's a charlatan.
Yeah,
His job was he was an assistant, just like I've gotten several women generally offering their services to me as an assistant, just to do the screening for them. Most of the escorts, high-end escorts that are high-volume escorts, always have assistants because you can't go through that volume of text messages and emails constantly. You need someone to do it for you.
Like, we're going to say insensitive things like pimp, you know what I mean? But it's a visceral reaction, you know what I mean?
Did I have somebody out there for my protection, that I paid for my protection? No, I was on my own as far as protection went.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that he was my pimp at all.
Well, no, I don't think he was, but it sounds like he was a smooth operator.
He was.
Like,
he was.
Well, see, that's
he,
where the
he was a well-educated younger male. He was business-oriented. He had a mind for business. He knew what he was doing.
So he exploited you.
He did. He did. And I found this out after, a couple months. It's just, he noticed that I didn't count my money.
I think I'd like to fuck that guy up.
It just made me feel grimy to count the money at the end of the day.
Ah.
But I still gave him his portion, blah, blah, everything was fine. But after a couple of months, I started noticing he started getting nicer and nicer shit. And I started having less and less money by the hundreds. So what I did one day is he was going over what clients I was going to see for the rest of the day. I said, wait 1 minute, and I left my purse out on in the kitchen. I was like, wait 1 minute, I need to go use the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, turn the sink on as high as I can, and immediately run back into the kitchen. And no joke, I'm seeing him put bills in the back of his pocket. And I say, what are you doing? What's in your hand? And he goes and shows me his other hand. I said, no, not that hand, the other hand. And he slowly pulls out the money, tell him to get the fuck out, no more contact, that's it. And we were done. It's funny, he contacted me, this is a few years ago when this happened. He contacted me maybe 4 months ago, just very casually, like nothing had happened, like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what the fuck? I mean, people like the audacity, like it just, I'm gonna fuck you over and just act like everything's cool, and in a couple years, like nothing happened. Like I don't understand what the hell could have been going through his head.
That's a mark.
But that is the only time I've been fucked over. And it was because you rely on somebody else when you don't need to rely on anyone else but yourself.
And I rely on this guy right here all the time.
Yeah,
man.
but we're not. You know,
Well, it's still business.
there's a friendship there.
Right.
There wasn't a friendship there. That was purely a business opportunity for him. And I guarantee you that was not the first time he's done that.
He's
That's
a golfer.
why he's a type of
He's educated. He's a purse snatching bitch.
He saw me
no
and he knew that
difference.
there was a lot of potential to make a lot of money off of me.
18-year-old girls coming off the bus in East Hollywood, they do the same thing. They sit at the bus stop, they look, and instead of the bus stop, now it's Craigslist, Backpage, or whatever the fuck they have nowadays, and they hunt.
Ugly, 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 hot. Ugly, 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 hot. Let me take these two. Let me try both of them. I got one. I got this one. This one makes $2,000 a day. This one makes $800. I can take $200 from her. I can take $400.
You're talking about looking for fucking marks.
Well, I mean, like I said, if it was, not saying it was that easy, I don't know, but if it was that smooth, nobody has anything to do. Nobody comes right off the fucking hip.
Exactly.
And is a natural person to talk a woman into going. Have you known him for years?
No.
No, she said
So,
that
so this guy was just.
he knew what he was doing.
I mean, it wasn't his first pitch. It
was
wasn't his first sale.
It certainly was not.
So
You know, the golf.
I'm not saying respect the thieving, but if you're going to respect a woman who could hustle and get guys to pay them for sex, you got to respect the other end of it, that he could talk those same women who hustle men, he hustled them.
I don't have to respect it because, like, let's just use a hypothetical.
Respect the game. So to speak.
Yeah, well, or don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm playing chess, motherfucker. You're playing checkers. You know what I mean? So, like, let's just say a hypothetical. Let's say you and I had known each other then, or whatever. Like, ideally, I would like to see that that motherfucker should have got buck naked. I'm from Flint, Michigan, so we do things a little different. You know what I mean?
Did he give you the money back that he had in his back pocket?
I was told him get the fuck out. I'm really good at teaching myself things, and
But you'd be good at teaching other people.
I would love to teach other people because I don't think this is anything any girl needs to stumble into without knowing exactly how to do.
Well,
you need to be trained.
That was my point. Was that you were saying like it's dangerous. It's dangerous. I think you're dangerous. I think you're dangerous.
I am not in any danger. I feel like. Now you put any girl into my situation, in the same situation, she can be in danger. You spend a lot of time trying to figure out who you're talking to.
Yeah. When I say you're dangerous, that's a compliment.
Oh, I know. I
See,
appreciate
we're
it.
on the one side of it, though. We're only talking about clients.
Okay. You want to switch gears?
I mean, there's a dark side to everything. Like it or not, most people, there's always somebody being hurt in everything.
There is.
In professional sports, there's
There
a
is.
loser. So all your clients, out of 10 of them, at least 6 or 7 of them were married. The wives didn't know about it. That's fine though, that's his choice. 2, the money. It doesn't matter to you where the money's coming from. That could have been, little Julie's fucking tennis shoes.
Yeah.
3, we already did the whole pimp thing.
Not really, but yeah, we kind of touched on
we
it.
talked about it. It's a cutthroat business for the most part. There isn't too many people like
Sounds
Not
like,
like you.
sounds
It
like
seems
she's weeding that out.
Seems like she's trying to, yeah. But like I said, once again, 9 out of 10,
No,
it's not gonna happen. But that's not the whole purpose, dog.
see,
But
Nine out of
she doesn't
10
have 9 out of
9
10.
9
She
out
had-
of 10, what happens?
Well,
exactly.
it's gonna be
It's going to be a
cutthroat.
piece of shit. It's going to
There's
be,
gonna be
a
cutthroats.
bad. It's going to be a cutthroat. But
So out of let's say, we'll say 3.5 years, I've not had one.
I'm with her.
Where's your 9 out of 10?
I'm with
9 out
her
of 10 what?
Cutthroat, someone gets fucked over.
because she doesn't have the volume. She doesn't have that. Like, if I sit there and I'm like, okay, we're watching TV and I'm shooting dope, and we hang out every day, eventually you're going to be shooting dope with me.
That's how it works.
And I know that if I'm shooting dope. And guess what? I'm going to tell you it's $40 a pack when it's $20 a pack because my packs are going to be free. You know, that's what I think you're saying is like the dark side of people. I like to think that me and my friends and my people or whatever suppress that and try and be good. Let's say I wanted to. Let's say I had a house with 4 bedrooms, and I wanted to make it a little easier for young girls who are maybe timid. Let's say I'm John. My name's John, and I play golf too, and I'm educated. But I went to school with that fucking prick you're talking about, and yeah, I used to beat the brakes off them. So a brothel. Now, at the same time, like as a man doing that, a woman would have to have the nurturing.
Yeah, I mean
right?
the woman for one, she's
Going on the pimp thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, for one, the woman will have had the experience that the
Yeah.
girls will be experiencing, so she will have straight on the knowledge that the girls need to know.
Do those exist?
Yes.
There's houses that are brothels.
Oh,
To this day.
I'm sure. Yeah, definitely. The opportunity.
Field
And
trip.
If I,
I'm gonna piggyback on what something Travis was saying, like the winners and losers in football. The winners are losers because they're injured. You know what I mean? The manager of the owner of the team, the
Well,
owner.
you don't want to be a player anymore.
No.
You want to be the coach. You want to be the supervisor. You want to be the manager. That's where I was getting at the whole end game. Promotion, promotion, promotion.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've been an escort for 5-10 years, but now you own a 2-story house. You run a couple of girls. You have a successful escort. I mean, Heidi Fleiss. Heidi Fleiss is the first female.
Pimp.
There was always a man behind the woman. With her, she
Oh.
was the woman behind the woman, bro.
Because she had fucking bank.
Well, she got fucking.
And she was fucking gangster.
Well, all the celebrities.
Yeah, she was gangster.
Yeah.
And she went to jail. That's too bad.
Well, she's out.
Oh, yeah.
but she had a good run.
But she got an actor hooked on crack.
She's a pimp then. It's going to be messy, you know? It just is. So it
But a
sounds...
mistake in escorting is not a mistake when I'm working at a restaurant. If you're working at a restaurant, you make steak.
Exactly.
Mostly that goes with I broke a dish, I overcooked the steak, or I fucking cut myself.
You make a mistake
in
as
it.
an escort, and you're going to jail. You're getting killed. You're getting raped. Your bride's
So,
missing.
Now,
Somewhere.
yeah, you make more money, but like, what are you willing to? And no disrespect, you gotta self-respect. I've known many of strippers where they've had to get fucked up before they
Yeah, to get on
stage,
that pole.
but they like the money. You gotta be in the right mindset.
That's true. You have to either
A
create a
young person
persona.
can't do that.
You have to create a
Tell you
persona.
what.
That's why you need somebody that can teach you or show you the rings. Show you.
But that's what I mean by like mistake is I don't mean like getting your throat cut. I don't mean, but like getting on some pills. Oh, I like these pills.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean? They're harmless. I'm gonna
you're
take them
doing it the
today, and
right
all of a sudden,
way-
but there's a learning curve though. There's a learning. It seems to me like every tattoo artist, they go through these trials and tribulations. It would seem like every woman would have these like insecurities that, and that's what I mean by mistake. If there was a brothel and the madam was doing and treating them really well, and they have no idea how good they have it. They might be shitty one day, and that's a mistake. I'm just going off of like intuition, but it seems like you'd be like, "There's a fucking door. Get the fuck out of here."
See,
You know?
but going back to the pill thing and the drug thing, either way, when you get done putting ink to skin, you get money. After you do business, you get money. So if you want to go get pills, you have cash on hand. An individual that only gets paid bi-weekly or every other week, they can't do that if they're broke.
That's why they always were like hating on me, because
Well, there's no credit with drug dealers unless they're a piece of shit and they're trying to get you hooked.
If you're a really good drug addict,
I'm a
you will
really
get,
good drug
if you're a really
addict,
good
man.
drug addict and you've got a really
Because
good
you're
drug
good
dealer,
for business.
he will
I
he
am.
will
It was a
extend
mutual.
you a couple grand.
It was a mutual.
Exactly.
I never
You're
got
not
into
Just
saying
that.
enough
he's
for
a
you
good
to
drug
dig
dealer.
yourself a grave, and
See, my thing
Same
was like
thing as
this.
with the person that hustled you. They knew the bigger game. Instead of
Sorry.
just doing, he got greedy.
Mm-hmm.
But think, if
that
he
was the
didn't-
problem. He got greedy because I don't believe he was like that with anyone else until he saw my earning potential, how
It was always
negligent
there.
and how negligent I was at counting my money.
He should have said that, and as a good
As a
person,
good person,
he
but
should have.
instead the greed,
Yeah.
greed did what it did.
He shouldn't have left that house with a fucking wallet, watch, phone, belt. I would have made that motherfucker get buck naked.
Now, was this guy like a former client or just someone
No.
that contacted you out of nowhere?
No.
No, he was like the
What do they call them
assistant.
people at the hotel?
Concierge?
Yeah, he was a concierge, so to speak. You know.
He was a front
He's a
at
crooked motherfucker.
brand of Hilton hotels. So they're nice hotels, but they're meant for extended stays. So they have full kitchens, separated bedrooms. So they're nice
He fucked
hotel
up a
rooms.
good thing.
So how much? I didn't have to deal with any of that shit.
Seems like he should have been like kind of like showing you what he was doing though. What if he got hit by
That would-
lightning?
Then,
You know what I mean?
Then he would have lost his valuability to me.
No, because you would have appreciated the fact that he was.
I made so much more
you know.
money once he was gone.
Yeah.
And I took over. I made twice as much money.
Loyalty is.
Not
And
just
if you
because
don't
he
value
wasn't
loyalty,
staying
then that's
there.
on you. But what I'm saying is like if he cared, like he'd be like, look, I might get hit by lightning, I might have a seizure, I might have an aneurysm. And he should want you to be able to operate. So like, I'm not saying give you the keys to the castle because I've showed people how to tattoo. Did I show them everything
No.
I know? No.
I would have, yes. I
Yeah.
would have shown them how to do certain things on their own, but he wanted to
Pants gotta be firm.
keep his job and make sure that I was completely dependent on him and ignorant to how to do this on my own.
And he lost
So
it.
when I threw him away, I had to figure out everything on my own. And everything else just kind of came together, just common sense and my mother was a cop. That helped me learn a lot. She used to,
As Reading Rainbow said, it's in the book. Take a look. And it's on the internet. But I was wondering. I was thinking about law enforcement. I've known a lot of cops, SWAT. I've known ex-Secret Service. I've known MPs. I've known every level of law enforcement. If you had a brothel, especially somewhere like rural, if I were a sheriff or the sheriff, he might show up. I mean, it seems like you might have to kind of like cut him in to ensure
no, definitely.
to operate.
The sheriff's officer's already there in the back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
it goes with it. I
Do
mean,
they get?
everybody has needs.
Did you get any like words of wisdom to help you in this quest?
I knew what kind of prostitute I did not want to be.
Did she explicitly say because she knew? Did she groom you in any way?
Anyway, towards becoming an escort?
Yeah. Did she know subconsciously that maybe this was going on and then?
No,
I
she
don't
made
think
it
any
so-
mother would.
She made it so unglamorous. When she would go on her sting operation, she would put fake bruises on her, rip her shirt, pour beer on her, not wash
She
her hair
did
for
teach
3
you
days.
without knowing it then.
She was a streetwalker, is what she was when she would do her stings.
Those are the ones
So-
that'll rob you.
Yeah.
But she did
Right,
teach
it's
me the things that you can say and you can't say, and just how easy it is to catch and entrap somebody. All you have to do is say an exchange of what for for money.
It's
And
their
that's
word against
it.
yours too, so you might even be innocent.
Dollars and an explicit sex act. You are both now. I've committed a
Right.
crime.
Well, it seems so much easier to just maybe like have a third party kind of stroll in there and be like, anonymous tip. Somewhere there's a brothel and it might just be easier if maybe you got 10%. So there's an envelope right there, and I'll be back in a week. And
What is the weirdest thing you've been asked? The largest amount of money you've been offered, and did you do? What's the weirdest thing you did do? Because sometimes if somebody asks you something, you're not
Oh,
gonna.
okay.
Erotica.
So first one, weirdest thing somebody's asked me to do is they wanted to bring to the session a jar with an insect inside with the intent of me killing it in front of them. I guess that was their kink that turned them on. They wanted me to
That was
kill a bug
American
in front of
Psycho
them.
shit.
I of course said no because I'm just not going to kill something so you can get off. Fuck you. No, if that turns you on, there's something wrong with you, and
Yeah.
I don't need to be in a room alone with you anyway.
Still would have liked to know what he was trying to pay.
Yeah. Oh, he would have paid normal price. He
No.
wasn't looking to pay extra.
You don't get to sacrifice shit for fucking.
He was just asking.
Standard rates.
Asking.
Was it just any type of bug, or was he like?
He didn't specify. He said
I
it
bet
doesn't
it's a
matter what
praying
kind.
mantis. So how much is most money?
Oh, you heard. Okay. Anyway, one guy said, "Well, how much for a month?"
A month.
A month. I just want to keep. He kept extending how long he wanted to keep me, or
Okay.
keep my company, and it started. And
See,
then it started.
You
Then
say
it started to get
You
absurd. Then
yeah.
the money started to get absurd. He started to ask if there were ways that I was able to procure drugs.
Whoa.
And then it was obviously a setup of some sort. Because not only are you trying to get me, are you trying to get me to agree to, doing this for a set amount of money, which he should never have said the set amount of money, because you're supposed to say roses. And it is a donation. It is not a rate or fee or cost.
You hear that, people?
Keep your notes, kids.
Don't go to
And
jail.
then
See, jail isn't shit to me. Everyone's like jail, jail, jail. I wouldn't be worried about jail. I'd be worried about getting my head cut off and put in a jar.
Yeah?
That would be my thing.
Yeah, I'd be worried about cutting a motherfucker's head off myself. Because for anyone, who's watching this, like, comment or whatever, the guy, the golfer, if anyone, are you with me? Like, I think I would have sent that guy to his car in his fucking boxers. You get him buck naked. You get him buck naked because they might have a weapon on them. What they've done is they've got over on you, and you caught him in the act, and then, we're going to wash our hands.
Is he big?
no.
I don't give a fuck if he's big or not. It's like my brother, he was taped to a chair. They made him take all his clothes off. You take everything of value, and if they're lucky, they get to walk out to their car naked and leave with their life. I guess I'm fucking hood a little bit.
Now that I think about it, and I'm thinking about all the details, he was ex-military, and he got out because of injury to the head,
So he
which
says.
he claimed to me had its consequences, that he had inability to concentrate, and so it kind of like it all added up in the end.
That's to make
It
you
all
feel
made
bad.
Bullshit.
That's
sense
to
in the
make you
end.
feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for me.
Not
I'm
feel
a victim.
sorry,
Yeah,
but
I'll knock it
for
back
me
right the other way.
For me to excuse all the weird things that he may do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like
a type of predator. It's the wounded predator. Look at me, and you put your guard down.
misdirection.
Yeah, that's all there is.
That you were young,
Yeah.
you were inexperienced. Next time,
Lesson learned.
we
Well,
strip
it was
this.
never
We strip
an-
this motherfucker of his
Have your
dignity
money.
and all his valuables.
What was the largest
your
amount of
money.
money you've made?
In a point in time.
In a point in time. Okay, we'll say in a day. I don't know. In a day.
In a day, $4,000. Fans only.
ability
To be the dirtiest, scummiest piece of shit they know. That's why.
Try me.
Until this.
I kind of feel a little guilty for like wrangling you into it.
Well, it's fun. I get to bitch and moan. And,
That's cool.
I don't have any real friends. Well,
That's not true.
all right, wrap this shit up. I'd like to say thanks to Elena for coming out and wearing the dope ass mask. I'm sure we'll have her on again. You could probably make money too if you just fucking tucked it in.
It's too fucking humongous. I'm a gentleman and a scholar.